Nightwing 99. Tom Taylor writing with Bro Redondo and Geraldo Borges on the art. So yeah,
couple pages of
yeah.
Borges. You can tell, but it doesn't add a speed bump
It keeps into the style of the main art as best it can. And I wonder if this is because obviously issue 100 is a bigger issue. Maybe Redondo had extra pages to do on that or something. Not that I suspect he's doing the whole issue, but
yeah. Can I just say that I'm tired of Nightwing maintaining this quality? Like,
what a weird complaint to have.
Right? Just why?
The only bad thing about Nightwing is that it might be too good.
Right. That's where I'm at. Where I'm just like, man, this gets into some weird stuff of Bloodhaven, and I'm so intrigued. And just when I'm thinking like, oh, okay, this will be a nice capper for Nightwing, the stuff with Tony Zuko and Melinda. And I was like, damn, Taylor, what are you doing? Where's all this stuff coming from? Keeping me hooked on.
It's opened up a new thing. Keeping me hooked on Dick. So
is what he's doing.
Keeping you hooked on Dick, is it?
Yep, keeping me hooked on Dick.
Matt can't get enough of Dick.
Nope.
All right, so basically, because Blockbuster's been taken down and because Maroni's been taken down, this issue brings in Tony Zuko, who's been out of prison on good behavior, apparently, and he comes to see his daughter, and he's like, "Hey, we're going to take over this town, you and I. The Zuko's will be a big deal. Our name's going to mean something." And of course, she immediately goes and tells Dick because she's not a villain, like her father. And he's going to apparently steal something to make a lot of money in the next day. So Dick follows him as Nightwing to this lighthouse. It turns out the two mysterious women that are in trench coats with Zuko are double there.
I loved it because they are circus performers. So of course Zuko would be using circus people.
Of course. Well, what I really like about it is just that, even as he's following, there's this kind of like tension to it, because this is the man who got his parents killed. So it's one of those like little things where I never want Bruce to get revenge or deal more directly with like a villain who, I don't like that in the Batman movie Joker killed his parents, right? And obviously we know who Joe Chill is, but Joe Chill's not this like, he's not another one of his villains who are doing things constantly that Batman's dealing with. But I like that with Nightwing it's different, because Tony Zuko is this active crime boss who is going to keep trying to be a crime boss, and Dick has to kind of be faced with that constantly whenever this stuff goes on. But yeah, it turns out there's this kind of, underground criminal like bank, this vault system under this lighthouse, which is actually an old pirate ship in a cave under the lighthouse.
with a whale skeleton over it? It looks cool as hell.
I'm glad you know that's a whale, because I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it's a humpback the way that it's positioned.
I think it's just because it's this long looking beak, I was like, is this some sort of dinosaur? Like, what is this thing? But yeah, so that's kind of like the entrance to it's this big skeleton, the skull that's opened. And Zuko goes and steals this safety deposit box that belongs to Maroni. And the guy who's there tries to stop him. I was getting a lot of the Continental from John Wick vibes from this.
Yep. 100%, but pirate themed.
Yeah, but the old guy with the beard who's there, like, he's like the Lance Reddick. Oh yeah, the concierge, yeah. But the Lance Reddick of this place, where he's like, no, if you do this, like, the people who store things here are not going to let this go. Like, they're going to come after you. And Zuko shoots the guy in the eye and he goes to shoot him again to kill him, and that's when Nightwing comes in with his
stick. Just boom, knocks the gun out.
And we get this great 2-page like sequence. It's a 2-page spread, but it's like all the stages of a fight as Nightwing's fighting Double Dare up and like down all the parts of the pirate ship, as Zuko's like running along the bottom, then across the bridge, and like Nightwing's sort of like chasing him from, because Nightwing's running up the tail of the whale. Is it whale? It is a tail still technically, but it's but it's glorious.
It's what we've come to expect from action sequences from Taylor and Redondo. Just the fluidity, so it's all on one page, but there's multiple of the characters and you're following them. It gives it this nice sense of fluidity, and it's such a delight to read. It's almost the equivalent of doing like a oneer in a movie where you do it all in one thing. So obviously Dick gets to Zuko and he's going to beat him up, and that's when this ship of like mercenaries who are here to like defend this place show up. And they try to tell Dick that they're taking him, but the old guy comes out and says, no,
Nightwing showed up and like helped defend this place technically, even though obviously Nightwing doesn't care about defending this place specifically. No. But because of that, no, let him take Zuko to the authorities. You know, he's right. But there's a little hint here dropped for the future where he says, "Hey, Nightwing, there's a safe here for you." And I don't know if the number 538 is something we can tie to in Nightwing. I was like, what happened to the Detective Comics 538? Because that's the one book that has that number that could be relevant, but I don't know.
Could be, yeah.
So apparently he's got a box that was left there from someone. It just says someone. Yeah, it doesn't say who.
There's somebody, and it's like, but is it for Nightwing or is it for Dick Grayson? Like, do they know?
Well, that's the question. If he doesn't know who really is, then it'll just be for Nightwing. But if this could be a reveal that he really knows that he's Dick Grayson, I don't know.
Right, and and who put it there, and there, and he comes back with an eye patch, right? The quartermaster.
Yeah, he shows up with an eye patch,
which gives him even more of a pirate look, which I love. After being shot in the eye, who is this guy? Just puts a patch on and goes to take in Zuko.
Yeah, the only thing I could think is like maybe his parents, but these parents weren't part of the crime underworld, so why would they have something here specifically?
No,
I don't know. It's weird. So that's a little tease for the future though, and a bit more delving into like his backstory. Melinda goes to see her father, who's now in jail, to visit him, and basically says and tells him that not only is she helping put him away and keeping him away for everything he's done, she informs him that she's legally changed her name and she's no longer a Zuko, and that name's dying with him. She's now Melinda Grayson Lynn. She's taken Grayson as part of her last name. So
I'm not saying it made me misty-eyed, but it did not make me misty-eyed. the Dick officially has a sister now, right? Like,
yeah, it's nice because obviously this guy, Zuko cares so much about his legacy. The idea that she's choosing to leave that behind.
Right.
You can see it. That's part of the art that's great here, is that his reaction to this. Like he's so smug in that top panel on that page, and then he's like in shock. He's shook. He's shook, as the kids say.
Yeah.
So no. But yeah. So yeah, we have Nightwing and Melinda talking about this, and talking about how to take over or protect the city. The only thing that I guess my only critique, other than just a few pages of a different artist that I want to make on this issue, is that when they're talking towards the end of the issue, we see like Zuko in his cell and someone's talking to him from the next cell, and then the next panel is KG Beast in a cell as well, and I wasn't sure if these two scenes were connected or if they're two separate things.
Yeah,
because the next two panels, because this is like 4 vertical panels on this page, the next 2 are both Heartless stuff, and it's just sort of setting up that Heartless is like basically taking over like all the henchmen of like Blockbuster or whoever by like ripping out hearts and threatening them and stuff.
Yeah, and we know he's supercharged because he has Blockbuster's heart now. Yeah,
but he's grown his power as far as like being a crime boss goes, right? So that's happening.
So I took this is Heartless talking to them. He's gonna pull them in because of course to rip out Dick Grayson's heart, you're gonna have Tony Zuko, and you're gonna have the guy that turned him into Rick Grayson, right? Like Taylor's talked on this, or not talked on it, but through the Nightmite stuff. Yeah, he's referenced that. So of course they're gonna go to the guys that had these big impacts on Dick Grayson's life.
I can see it now that you're saying it. That maybe that's the through line here that connects all these panels together. Yeah. But it did read because it kind of felt like because the second 2 panels were obviously connected in the same scene that I was expecting. I wasn't sure if the first 2 were like tied together as the same scene because they've got similar coloring, just like how the second 2 panels are both bathed in red.
Yeah,
those are both blue and yellow.
And maybe this is the butler dude for Heartless. I've written his name.
Oh, maybe maybe he's going to recruit them.
And he's recruiting them.
Which as much as I hate the whole Rick Grayson thing, the idea that KG Beast is the one behind that, and then Zuko's the one behind his parents. Yeah, you're kind of building almost like an anti-Dick Grayson Avengers in a weird way.
Yeah, it's the Superman Revenge Squad.
Yeah,
right?
There you go.
Kind of, it's the Nightwing Revenge Squad, and I like that just because it's been so like Taylor has paced us out so well over the course, and
it feels like a run. It feels like a long run that has like a game plan and it knows where it's going.
Yeah,
which is great.
Yep. Like it's again, stop being so good.
This whole like bank, underground bank vault thing.
I'm so curious about this because I think it's a little cheesy, but it's also super cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit cheesy, but it kind of works.
But yeah, just the idea that the guy that runs the keep or whatever it's called he's the quartermaster, and then the leader of the mercenaries is the captain. And like you said, I didn't even make the John Wick comparison, but yeah, it definitely feels like the Continental. Like there's this whole secret world that no one's aware of unless you're involved in it. And I feel like if something bad happens, I feel like whatever's in that vault is going to help Nightwing defeat Heartless. So, maybe these guys, maybe the keep, whoever they're called, are going to be the people that help, get him back up to par. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of play there. I like the character. I was also surprisingly kind of moved by Melinda changing her name. I don't know why. I wasn't expecting that to hit me, but it kind of did in the moment.
Yeah, me too. And just the idea though that he's, Dick's never been alone, but because he's had the Robins and he's got Barbara, but just the idea that he has a blood sister out there now that he can actually, by name, they're not just in blood, that it is his sister. I think that's going to mean a lot going forward. And I just hope she's not a target for Heartless, because if Taylor's doing this just to rip out our hearts, I'm going to be so mad at him, yeah. Don't do it, Taylor, please. I know you're a patron saint, but please.
I mean, if you're going to kill a character who's like a regular in this book, she's the one that would make the most sense.
And he's done a lot to endear her.
Because there'd be an uproar if he kills Babs. And
I think that's off books. I think
so.
Anything like that, or
it's Melinda or the dog, right? Yeah. These are the choices.
Yeah. And I mean, the dog just got a short story in the annual, so, Bitewing's over, right? You're not gonna.
Yeah, which for those of you who don't watch wrestling, over it means popular, not
canceled.
Yeah, over doesn't mean it's ended. Over means they're over with the crowd, meaning that the crowd likes them, and yeah.
But yeah, no. I had that when she got the name change. That's where I was like, oh no, please, Tom Taylor, don't do this to us. And he probably will, because this is what he does so well. He's
going to break her hearts. He is.
Yeah, so, and this is why we love him. That's why he's amongst our favorite writers, And when we get to the end of year special, the annual, that's why Tom Taylor's name is always high up on our list, is because of stuff like this.
It's funny you mentioned that, because we're very close to the end of year special soon. In fact, we'll be talking about that when you record that, probably when we're done today. So all right, what are you rating Nightwing 99?
I'm giving this a 9.
I think I'll go 8.5, and it's just purely because there's a few pages of a different artist that kind of just break the consistency up a little bit, but it's very good. Excellent. Loving the ongoing story. Good stuff. So cool. Looking forward to issue 100. Here's hoping that we can celebrate in about 70 issues Taylor's 100th Nightwing issue.
Yeah, for sure, right?